and welcome to Respect the Crit. I'm your host, and usually I'm your game master, Ian Duncan. My pronouns are he, him. But yes, today I am not going to be your GM. I am going to be a player at the table, playing the Ghoul of the Wasteland, Sunny Takase. And if you haven't guessed by now, we are playing a new system, a totally brand new game that is just come out by our friends at Modifius Entertainment. I am also joined by some other friends. Firstly, returning to the world of Respect the Crit, we could not get enough of him. We love him so much, and it is great to have him back. Please welcome Xavier Trudeau-Deschênes.
Hello, I'm so happy to be back. Thank you so much. It's good to be here. I'm Xavier. My pronouns are he, him, and I will be playing the brawny, brainy Lance Burnett, Vault Dweller.
I'm getting the vapors already. What's it like being a player this time and not having to run a bunch of Google Sheets and things?
It's fun. It's certainly it feels a little lighter, a little more relaxed. I have less tabs open tonight for sure.
Excellent. And also joining us, I know her from having played in a ton of games with her, and that's just playing the spread, because honestly, that's all she does. She's in everything. She's in absolutely every game on the internet, I think. I know that's confirmed. Please welcome Susan Spenader.
Aw, thank you. That was a lovely welcome. I'm Susan. I go by she, her. I will be playing the sneaky, shooty Geraldine, aka Gerry, the nomad. Yeah, I have no life, and all I do is play tabletop RPGs. Anytime anybody hits me up to play, I will do it.
So you hear that, audience. If you need an extra player, just hit up Susan. She'll be around. She's got no life. And yeah, she'll fill in. She'll jump in.
It sounds crazy, but it probably will happen.
Well, we are very lucky and very glad to have you in our game here, especially doing this new game. So yeah, thank you for agreeing to come on board.
I'm very happy to be here. I am so happy. I am a big fan of you guys. Probably like number one fan. I'm like the mom in the crowd going, "Oh, they're doing so good up there."
You're doing so good, honey. And also, it would not be Respect the Crit without him, taking us through this incredible apocalyptic world, our very own overseer, Alex Herrera.
Hello. Thank you. I am very excited to run this story with all of you and have you participate and change the way it unfurls. I think Ian's played in my games before and knows that it's not a hard set path, but much in the same way that a specific Marvel character said, "I paved the roads that you've walked on to get here," I have in fact paved many roads for this.
Yeah.
So please walk on the roads.
You've been working on this for a while, haven't you? We've been like preparing this for quite some time.
And I still feel like it's not done. So here we are. We are here.
I'm so excited to play. I've been waiting for this for a long time. Yeah. So without any more hesitation, let us walk these roads that you have paved, Alex, and please take us to the wasteland.
The Evergreen, the emerald jewel of the Northwest Commonwealth, Seattle, once held a top spot in the hearts of Americans as an example of nature and modernity coexisting. When the Great War ended, this once lush and beautiful region transformed. The animals acclimated to the new radiated lands, the waters churned with a different shade of a dark green or blue, and the picturesque skyline now held steel skeletons of what once were monuments of humanity's progress. Now, the city and surrounding region go by a new name, the Evergreen. Trees and plants have long since adapted to the conditions which now surround them, and the region still holds enough foliage to earn and keep its namesake. Society also adapted to the wasteland of the Northwest Commonwealth. Numerous tribes emerged, grew, and fell, amongst the husks left behind from pre-war times. Among these tribes, settlements were born and still stand as bastions of hope in uncertain times. Our story takes place in the Evergreen, with a large conflict recently occurring between a known wasteland superpower and an unknown force of supposed freedom fighters. Caught in the middle of these two groups' crossfires are the residents of the Evergreen, the independent settlements who have not joined either side of the conflict. These settlements wish to only continue doing what they have done so well for so long, to survive. We're going to start with our camera panning down. A sunrise brings light onto massive, endless ruins of a once magnificent cityscape. But as more light hits the ground and the areas surrounding these ruins, there comes to be some sort of structure or formation of structures along this still standing freeway. In this cluster of ruins, some skeletal buildings still kind of emerge, hodgepodge pieces of sheet metal, steel, iron, and even some wood. As the sun rises, light begins to hit the streets down below. We see people moving around, hustling and bustling in what is the major thoroughfare of the Evergreen, known as First Hill. First Hill is a settlement that has high security, with the freeway mentioned earlier forming the barrier of the western and southwestern end of the city. In the north, there are large former hospital buildings that were erected during the times of the pre-war, which have now just been emptied out and become these large monolithic gates of different sizes. In the east, there is again more buildings turned into these large, misshapen towers of a wall. And in the south, some more modern construction with former Vault-Tec equipment being used to construct a much sturdier wall than the rest. Along these walls, there are a dozen or half a dozen men patrolling every now and then, wearing very, very well-kept leather outfits of shades of blue and gray. Most citizens of First Hill realize that these are the outfits worn by the official security officers of the city. Known to be fair and just, security officers have a reputation of keeping the peace mostly within the city walls and ignoring the issues of the outside. Our camera focuses now closer on this one particular structure near the southern end of the city. A couple different businesses begin to rile up. Some merchants pull out these weird, half falling apart carts and begin cooking meat on these carts that seem to be producing heat from the bottom. Camera moves and faces a stone structure that is very barren, has a door and a window, and in the window there is a very hastily painted sign that says "Now Hiring" in red paint. Camera moves through the window and into a pretty cramped, almost like a storefront room that seems to be used currently for storage and not for any type of storefront. An open door to the right leads out into this small patio or paddock where there is a Brahmin resting peacefully, where there is a wooden storefront that does seem to be used with a ghoul setting up his wares, rushing back and forth, getting things ready for some sort of large occasion. As the camera moves past him, back into the main chamber to a back room where there is a single light on, and a rather muscular man sits on his bed or cot, shirtless but wearing the very tight Vault 6 pants, which he has washed every day because it's the only outfit that he knows. As this man readies himself for another day of hard work, the camera pulls back quickly out back into the street and now flies towards the western end of town at one of the gates. A young woman emerging, wrapped in layers of clothing, scarves, hoods, things of that nature. She removes some sort of visual goggles that she has over her eyes as she takes a look at First Hill, a city she's heard numerous times about. And she appears to be both overwhelmed, but at the same time excited. A sense of wanderlust fills her mind, and she's again reminded of why she took this trip in the first place. Our camera pulls up and we see the entirety of First Hill, citizens awakening, people going about their business, security guards doing their job, and we hear the faint sound of bullets being fired way, way off in the distance as we snap to our first character, Sunny, getting ready for the day. Sunny, please describe to me what you're doing. Describe about your character, how he looks like, and talk about your Brahmin there.
So, Sunny is a ghoul, which means he's like a heavily irradiated person, and he basically looks like the Walking Dead. He has Asian features, and he's kind of a shorter stature man, maybe about 5'6" or 5'7". His skin, what remains, is taut and emaciated, where it isn't like falling off. He doesn't have a nose. What teeth he has are like rotting in his mouth, and his eyes, though they have like the spark of life, are kind of jaundiced and discolored. He has some stringy black hair on his mostly bald head, and what is passing as a terrible mustache and goatee, just like almost as if someone just like took some hair off the ground and glued it to their face. But he is dressed in a really nice suit with a really nice hat, or at least really nice for the wasteland. It's a little threadbare, but it still looks nice. It's probably some like tuxedo thing. Think like Psy from Gangnam Style, like
I was gonna yeah
like zombie Psy.
And what is this creature that's outside with you in this little outdoor paddock area?
This creature is a Brahmin. It's like a two-headed cow that has this big, bulbous, engorged udder that he is like frantically, and I think he's just like frantically pulling stuff out of packs that are like draped over its back, like pulling out what inventory he has. And yeah, he's just like grabbing like bits of food and water, ammunition, bullets are spilling out all over the floor, and this Brahmin is just mooing contently as it chews some cud or can or something. And he's just like, "Hey, Beefcake, get out here, you gotta help me. We gotta put all this stuff in the store, come on. We got a lot to do today."
And with that, camera moves out of Sunny's purview, passes by the Brahmin, which one of the heads is chewing a can, and the other one attempting to grab it, but both heads having a disagreement, and goes into the back room where a large, muscular, human vault dweller washes his face with slightly irradiated water and looks in the mirror. Xavier, please introduce your character.
For a second there, Lance is unsure if Sunny's talking to the Brahmin or him when he says, "Hey, Beefcake," and a couple seconds later he takes a long, heavy breath in and exhales as he looks at his own tired face in the mirror. And he needs to lean down to see his own face in the mirror, because he, standing up at his full 6'10", he would be, his head is over the mirror, basically. And everything in this room is just so small for him. He is the poster boy for old-timey sports. He's very fit, very muscular, but also very well kept despite everything. He looks worn, he looks tired of something, but he just finishes shaving. He's got this very short, very finely trimmed beard, very brown, like heavy brown hair, simple haircut, but very, like, he just keeps it as clean as he can. Takes another breath in, looks at himself and says, "This work's gotta get done, Lance. This work's gotta get done." And he finishes putting on the top of his vault jumpsuit, and like it just molds around his large biceps and traps, and like he's so defined. And when he's all done, he puts on his pair of glasses.
One thing I'd like to add as Lance is getting ready to go and begins heading out the door, his pit boy kind of boop, boop, gets a little alert, and as he looks down, it just says 15 days since leaving the vault. It's almost like somebody has either Lance or somebody has set a reminder in the Pip-Boy that like, hey, this is how long you've been gone.
He quickly looks at it and then turns away from it and sort of like tries not to acknowledge it. And he heads out and he's not Gandalf in Bilbo's house. Like, he doesn't have to knock on there. But I still feel that even the door to get out of this house has something that hinders his movement. He has to kind of bypass that door.
For sure. You're living in a world of average heights. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah. So Lance kind of just has to duck through this. And this structure that we didn't really go over, this structure is supposed to be a storefront, but Sonny has been using it as a storage. Regardless of the fact that he's rented it, it's to him, being out in an open air market is more of his speed in terms of like selling and kind of wheeling and dealing. So
I like the fresh air. It feels good on my skin.
It's exactly what you hear when you exit the structure, Lance, and you see Sonny looking at some sort of really rough and hewn, like this clipboard with like paper that could deteriorate at a second's notice, but he's still kind of using it and trying to rewrite over things as well.
Come on, we gotta set up the tent. We gotta set up the yurt. You're gonna sleep the day away, you tall glass of water. Come on.
Yeah, Sonny, just give me a minute. I'll be right on it. It's been a tough night. I feel like I haven't slept in a couple weeks.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at the size of you. I only got a cot for a normal person. You're like two people. You're like a tall Douglas fir of a man, and my God, are you beautiful.
All right, please, Sonny, please just stop saying it. Just for 1 minute, I get it.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's on me. I'm sorry. Anyway, take your minute, take a breather, and then you come help me open the tent. Ah, God, Dee, come on. And then he just like steps in a big pile of Brahmin shit. And he's like, ah.
Oh. Yeah, and then your Brahmin. Does your Brahmin have a name?
Yeah, it's Duke and Duchess, but he calls her Dee Dee for short.
Dee Dee.
Dee Dee is nice.
Yeah, as you step in a Dee Dee pie, it just kind of one of the heads looks at you as it finishes crunching this can.
And I just look up at Lance. You were supposed to clean this up. What happened?
I think this is a new one.
God.
I'll get right on it, boss.
And as the two of you discuss the morning chores, a young woman kind of wanders down through this main thoroughfare of stores beginning to open, people leaving their places of residence and kind of sweeping out some dust as best they can anyways. Susan, please describe to us, paint us a picture of what Gerry looks like as she walks down the street and finds this structure with a sign that says hiring.
Gerry is practically drowning in all her layers of clothes as she's only 5'1". No matter how fitted these clothes are, they still look big on her, no matter what. She's very petite, so she has a small, round face. She has darker skin because she spends most of her time outside, but it's like Anglo-Saxon darker skin. As she's been walking through the city, she's pulled down her hoods, and she has this very full, luxurious, brown, curly hair that's up in a high ponytail, also engulfing her. It's like everything just wants to drown her. Like clothes, hair, everything. She's actually kind of pretty behind the grime. She doesn't really put much into her appearance, but she has like this layer of dirt on her. But if you look past that, she has like a small button nose, full lips, big brown eyes. Very fascinated look. She's looking around and she's fidgeting a little bit with her like fingerless gloves. She keeps picking at them. And then she like keeps going to check for the pipe gun on her hip to make sure it's still there, but then also looking around in wonder. She's scoping out the place too, like looking for entrances, exits to all these buildings, who's around her, any threats. And then she sees the now hiring sign. I ain't got no honey baby now. I ain't got no sugar baby now. I ain't got no honey baby now.
So as Gerry walks and sees this sign, she can hear clearly, distinctly two men, not arguing, more chitter-chattering. One of them the voice sounds a little rough. The other sounds more low, deeper tone. Sounds like, almost like an elder, like a voice of authority. But the sign says, now hiring right there. And the door to the shop technically is open.
Hey, is Anybody here?
If you break that cot, you buy it, by the way. I don't have any large size cots. That's the only one I got. So that's what. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Oh, hey, lumberjack. We have a customer. Eyes up. Hello. Welcome to Sunny's Sundries. We have anything that you could want, and probably some stuff that you didn't even know you want. How can I help you, ma'am?
I'm not looking to buy. I saw the now hiring sign out front. And then she sees Xavier's character. and she sees Lance, and then she stops, looks up, and then wow. And then she glances back to Sunny.
Lance's shoulder just dropped, kind of slouches his back a little bit, like, again. And when you mentioned you saw the now hiring sign, he kind of like winces looking at you. He's kind of like trying to, from behind Sunny's back, he's trying to give you like a I wouldn't do it kind of head shake, but doesn't say anything.
You're here for a job, huh? Great. We could always use some extra hands. You know, I got muscles over here doing all the heavy lifting and all of that. What kind of skills could you bring to the table?
I'm pretty good with a gun and not being seen when I don't want to be. And I make a mean rad roach.
Interesting. I think we probably have some room for like an intern or something like that here. How are you with animals?
All right. I'm good at hunting them.
Well, how are you with feeding them and cleaning them? That's more than what I need.
I'm pretty sure I could handle it.
Yeah, I think you should hire her.
Well, now hold on. I have a couple of interview questions I wanna do. Where do you come from? What's your name, first of all?
Oh, the name's Gerry. I come from south of here, a nomadic tribe, Paradise Valley.
Oh, sound nice.
Guessing you're Sunny, 'cause sign. And
That's me, Sunny Takase, Sunny Sundries.
And and you, Mr. Handsome?
My name's Lance Burnett. Can call me Lance, it's fine. And he's just in the back. I picture him like he's been working like this whole time. He's not just standing there. He's just like with like each hand carrying a bunch of stuff, a bunch of heavy bags or crates, and just like he keeps doing it. The storeroom is getting empty by the minute, and he's just like, he's just almost like not voluntarily, but like he's almost modeling, like, because every new bag he takes, it's kind of like forces him into a new like bodybuilding pose as he gets to the Brahmin.
The worst part is for Lance, I would say anyways, is that like you've seen Sunny buy most of these things, like these like ammo bags, boxes of gear, clothing, like you've seen him buy them and leave them in the storage room knowing like I'm gonna have to move those at some point.
Today's the day.
And you've seen how good of a trader he is, because he's, you know, even for being a ghoul, his appearance can be a little off-putting, but first thing you learned is that people in First Hill are very accepting. Most of them anyways. The ones he's dealt with, he has a very good rapport with a lot of merchants, even competitors in the area. So he'll make deals in which it looks like the other people are losing, and he'll still get a lot of materials brought into the shop. That's the one thing I think you'd recognize in him. Also, then you realize that's how he got me to do most of these things. I'm not the winner in this deal. Yeah.
I gesture over to Lance and I say, he's from the vault. He's a vault dweller. You could probably tell with the jumpsuit and everything like that. Hey, Lance, you gotta tell me where your vault is?
Sonny, I tell you it's private. We don't get to have this conversation again, not in front of someone I don't know.
I keep telling him. If he tells me where it is, we could be rich. We could be richer beyond any imagination. All that pre-war tech. I'm telling you, Lance. I'm telling you.
It's not gonna happen.
He's gonna tell me. He's gonna tell me sometime. I swear, Gerry.
This entire time, Jerry's been trying to keep her eyes on Sunny, but her eyes just keep getting drawn back to Lance. Like, like every new pose, she's like,
the sunlight is always just hitting him just right, like through the window.
It is dawn. Like the sun is rising, the light's coming into the shop,
Golden hour, yeah.
The golden hour, exactly. For the job interview, I'd like Gerry to begin with some checks here.
Ooh, the first rule of the game.
Oh,
Get us warmed up, you know.
I love
Okay.
it.
Let's ask Sunny in the job interview for this Brahmin technician, as we're going to call it.
Oh, that's beautiful.
What are the necessary tasks? Let's list off 3 tasks. What do they have to be able to do?
Okay, so the 3 tasks are have to take care of the feeding.
Okay.
2, the milking. She needs to be
boy.
milked every single day. And 3, the waste cleanup, because Sunny, as a good merchant, knows that even that's coming out the back end of her, that's still something you can sell if you can sell it right. And that's fertilizer. So you gotta scoop the poop and package it up.
Cool. Gerry, here's what we're going to do.
Okay.
This interview, there are going to be 3 checks. They're going to be difficulty of 0 checks. What that means is you'll succeed no matter what. However, the first test, let's call that intelligence medicine. So what you're going to do is you're going to add your medicine rank plus your intelligence.
6.
6 or lower, and it's a success. We're going to call that an action point.
Oh.
And then anything higher than 6 is going to be for me. Action points for me. We're just storing some stuff for later. So you're just going to roll 2 d20s.
Are you sure this wouldn't be small guns or lockpick?
I'm very certain it has nothing to do with guns.
Okay, here we go.
Hey,
Nice!
2 action points.
That's a critical
First-
success, too.
That is a crit.
What do we do in this show? Someone say it.
We must respect the crit.
That's right. The first question Sunny asks is about, the general type of feed. What do you feed a Brahmin? And Gerry slam dunks it. It's like she remembers working in where the tribe actually settled, and actually it was North, Gerry, I believe. That's
I thought it was South. Okay.
It's okay. It doesn't matter. It's not important. You remember seeing the beast keepers of your tribe taking care of some Brahmin and other small game that you managed to keep, and you remember the type of feed that they were given, a mixture of some seeds and some razor grain, which is like, kind of like wheat essentially. And boom, easy enough. The second question Sunny asks, in regards to, I believe it was milking the Brahmin. This one's going to be athletics and strength.
0 in athletics. Strength is 5. Oh.
That's 2 for me. This question, you guess. It comes out of your ass.
Jerry's like, you pull the dangly things?
They're called udders, and no, you don't just pull on them. You gotta roll them down. You haven't milked a Brahmin before.
They wouldn't let me.
Sunny makes note on this little clip.
Yeah. You write something down, like just looking over his nose.
And the final one, cleaning up Brahmin poo-poos.
Waste repurposing.
We're going to call this one survival endurance, is what we're going to call this one.
Nice.
Because the methane level in Brahmin waste is much, in my mind, just the realistic part of me thinks cows now, when they fart and poop, the methane levels are off the charts.
Yeah.
This Brahmin is a mutated version of these animals. What's coming out of this radiated beast is something that us normal humans in this normal world, in this timeline, cannot handle. So endurance plus survival, what is your number there?
Survival's 2, endurance is 6, so 8.
8 or lower?
Okay. Big money, big money.
There you go.
go.
The interview goes smashingly.
You can start right now, and he gestures to the fresh dung pot from this morning.
Don't worry for the milk, and Sonny'll show you how he'll make sure you watch. He's made me watch so many times.
I like it when he watches.
I hate it.
Gerry, you have done well. You've earned your team and yourself 5 action points. But you've also given me 2 for me. As Gerry and Sunny are finishing up the interview, Lance, I would say you've just finished taking all the stuff out of the storeroom and putting it out front in a nice and organized manner. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ian, but I envision there being your stand and then a couple of shelves in the general vicinity of your fenced-off paddock area, so people can come in, and this little fence area is your outdoor shop, essentially. They can browse shelves, almost like when you go to like a vendor at a flea market that has like a tent You know, with the extra shelves and things kind of in the middle.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. So as you're putting things nice and tidy, Lance, one of this kind of rather large security guard, not as tall as you, but probably as stout and built as you, walks up with his helmet under his arm, a 10mm pistol strapped to his side there. You can hear the leathers of his armor kind of brushing against itself, and he's got this kind of almost like a security vest with clips built on. Think of like a SWAT uniform, but with instead of the loose cloth material, it's more of a leather material. The boots hitting the dirt as he walks from the path onto the little stone paddock with the patches of razor green or grass where the Brahmin was, where Didi was resting. This officer looks like he's of Middle Eastern descent, brushes his short, kind of tousled black hair, and nods. Morning, Lance. The boss man in?
Yeah, he's just talking with the new hire, but I think they're about just about to be finished, so I think you can just step in. Can I help you with anything today, officer?
Oh, no, I just need to talk to him about some paperwork he hasn't filed yet, or else... And he looks around and realizes the shop is open, and he goes, with both fingers pointing crisscross, this shouldn't be open yet.
Do what you gotta do.
He'll nod. You recognize this officer, Lance, as Abad Longley. This was one of the security officers that when you first stumbled into First Hill, kind of got you on your feet, gave you your first sip of clean, purified water that you haven't had in a long time. And it's actually been the last sip of purified water you've had in a while since being here. But he was very fair with you. He set you up, actually with Sunny, introduced you to each other. And there wasn't a lot of judgment from him in terms of you being a vault dweller. He was more shocked about how handsome you were. Again, cool. Another comment, the first time we met you, just...
It was nice at the time.
Yeah.
It's getting old.
Abad walks in through the side door and sees Sunny and Gerry speaking, and he'll knock on the stone. Hello?
Abad, hey, old friend, how are you doing? What can I do for you? Did Lance offer to help you out already or something?
Yeah, he puts his helmet on one of the counters, an empty shelf nearby, just placing it there. Sunny, I like you, bud. So, when I tell you that you need to file paperwork to open your shop, let alone have an event, it's not me telling you. It's the city telling you. And I can't help but notice, and he points to the door, there's a lot of merch out there already ready to be sold. And he kind of shrugs and kind of makes this sarcastic face. I don't know. A very large absence of, registration paperwork.
Abad, where is this coming from? This is the first I ever heard of any paperwork. What are you talking about here? What do you mean?
He gives you the Jackie Chan mean look. And he looks at Gerry and he realizes I gotta keep my composure. Okay, look. If you literally take the paperwork right now to SEC HQ, you're good to go. That's all you gotta do. And he looks at Gerry again. Can we talk in private? Hello, miss.
This is my new intern. Unpaid intern.
He looks right at Gerry.
She makes a face.
Anything that's business related, she can hear. It's all part. But Abad, you're busting my balls here. You're busting my balls. What do you mean? Take the paperwork over. I'm trying to set up the store here. We'll open up in less than a week. I got so much to do. I got a ton of stuff to do. I still gotta get inventory. You're busting my balls here.
He squints. Why don't you get your intern to take the paperwork? And he looks. I'm gonna use one of my action points. There's paperwork sitting on a shelf. Nearby, and as he just walks over to it and he pulls it out violently from where it's being held.
It's shoved back in.
Yeah, there's some empty crates nearby. He just pulls it out.
I don't. That's the first I've seen that. That's the first I've ever seen that. I don't even know where that came from.
He begins rummaging through the pages. Well, at least it's been signed. Okay, look. Hands it to Gerry. He doesn't say anything. Just hands it to her.
And she drops the shovel that she just picked up because she was told to shovel up the poop, and now she's like, okay, throws it over her shoulder and grabs the paper.
He looks back to Sunny and he gets pretty close, he's going to say something quietly to him, in confidence, but obviously Gerry can hear this still. Look, Sonny, I don't mean to be in here and ruin this grand opening you got planned, or to stop your business. Not at all. You've done a lot for this place. And you've done a lot for the people outside this place. No one knows that more than me. Things are a little shaky with security. We've been stretched pretty thin. People have been stationed to the western gate. There's a lot of us actually stationed at the western gate, and some people even become scouts. So, this paperwork, although very benign, it's got to be done, all right? Because the next time somebody finds out, if someone else besides me sees that this shop is operating without a license, they might not be as friendly as I am. And you know what I'm talking about. And he kind of gives you this look like, you know the type of other people, the other type of First Hill sect who exist.
They're not so friendly to ghouls, I imagine.
No, they are not. They are not. There's a nice chunk that are, because you've done a lot, but then there are a lot of new guys, a lot of younger officers, a lot of younger security scouts, like the ones he mentioned, who go out on patrols. These guys are like very gung-ho, ask questions after the destruction's been made. But Abad, he's done right. He's done right by a lot of people here.
Abad, I hear you. I don't want to cause any trouble for you because we go back so far, Abad. I will do you this favor, okay? You don't have to worry about it. I do this favor for you, and, down the road you maybe do a favor for me. But I will take care of this for you. I think this is a perfect opportunity for Gerry to show what she can do.
Okay. That's all I need to hear.
You want something from the store? You want anything? You want some you want some cram, or you want some Nuka-Cola? You want some what do you want? What do you got?
He hears you say Nuka-Cola, and you see kind of his eye twitch a little. And he kind of catches himself. I really shouldn't, but I mean,
Lance, get our boy a Nuka-Cola. Just bring him a Nuka-Cola, nice and cold, as cold as you can, Lance.
Yeah, Lance grabs a fresh bottle, a cold one. There's like these counter openers, like these little, like, you just go to the wall and like pop it open. Like, he knows the drill. He's done it with Sonny before. And brings a Nuka-Cola, and he kind of raises his eyebrows to the officer, like, please take it.
He grabs it. I really shouldn't. And before he even finishes it, he just drinks the entire thing. Oh, shit, that's good.
More of that where it's come from. I just gotta find it. But you don't worry about nothing. I'll do this thing for you. You just remember your old pal Sonny. He's doing this favor for you.
He puts the bottle on the counter next to where his helmet is, grabs his helmet, and he leaves the bottle cap. Like, thank you. He leaves it and nods. And as he's walking by, he'll go to Lance and kind of in confidence whisper, hey, if he starts treating you bad, you come find me. All right? Not that he's going to do it, but, Sonny, he looks back, gets a little excited.
Oh, don't worry about that. I think we're getting along just right.
He'll nod and pat you on the back. Put on his helmet, and looks like he's going on patrol. So, if this were the Fallout video game, the minute Abad hands the paper to Gerry, Jerry's UI would fill up with quest. Dun, 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 dun. Bureaucracy, how I hate thee. It's very simple. Get the paperwork to the security office. Security HQ, it's called. It's called First Hill Sec HQ, which also acts as kind of like the city center, essentially.
So Gerry has the paperwork, and I'll take this, but I don't know where to take it.
You don't know where you're going. Do you?
Lance comes and joins the group, and he kind of just leans down over to Gerry and just extend a hand and is like, I can just get it done real quick. I know where to go. You're new in town. Just put your stuff down here. Get some rest. Get to know Sonny a bit. And just Sonny, just make sure nothing happens when I'm gone. You heard about. Be discreet today. and I'll be right back.
Be discreet, be discreet. I'm always discreet. This guy.
So is your suit.
This is a great suit, okay? This is gonna bring customers in. It's gonna bring them to the door.
As Sunny's shouting this, people are walking by. Like, there's just like a woman, like, oh, Jesus. Like,
We're closed.
Okay, Lance, you go. I'm gonna teach Gerry how to milk a Brahmin. Well, we're gonna get this figured out. Here, he like takes the bottle cap and like puts it in Lance's hands in case you need to like bribe anyone, and if you gotta go over there, just make sure things go smooth. Flash him a smile, maybe flex those pecs. Yeah, that always works for me.
Yeah, I've been getting around town. I'm starting to understand how things work over here when, I don't know, something out of the ordinary happens. So I assume all the paperwork's done correctly.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. I'll be back in a minute.
the quest on Gerry's UI changes to learn to milk a Brahmin.
I like the other one.
Bureaucracy failed. Learn to milk a
Yeah,
Brahmin.
no, it changes. It says it doesn't have complete. It has like an X through it. It says optional. Make Lance do it.
Yeah.
And there's a check next to that.
Yeah.
Hello, survivors, vault dwellers, and denizens of the wastes. Thank you for joining me in the mid-roll. We're going to announce the winner of our Episode 1 giveaway, and I'll be announcing the new fantastic prizes for our next giveaway and what you'll need to do to win them. Firstly, I just want to say thank you to everyone who entered. We got a ton of new reviews and kind words, and it's always a pleasure to hear your feedback, so thank you. If you didn't win this time around, please resubmit your entries in our next giveaway to have another chance to win. And to the winner of our Episode 1 giveaway, who will be receiving a physical copy of the brand new Fallout RPG book and a set of complimentary Fallout RPG dice, let me congratulate Mackenzie from Canada. That's Xavier's homeland, and also the country I went to university for 3 years. Thank you so much, and congrats on winning. Mackenzie wrote this in his review. Passionate folks with good jokes. I love a good rhyme. Consistently entertaining and shifting. I do not even like Star Wars, but Ian, Alex, and Jamie are players that know their stuff and have incredible chemistry that bleeds into excellent storytelling. Thank you so much, Mackenzie, for writing us that thoughtful review and for being a listener. You'll be getting an email from me and also from Modifius, so look out for that so you can claim your physical Fallout book and dice. Make sure it doesn't go into your spam folder or whatever. Next, let's talk about our new giveaway for Episode 2. That's right, we still have stuff to give away thanks to our friends at Modifius Entertainment. So this week, we're going to be giving away another physical copy of the Fallout RPG book and a Game Master Toolkit. This thing is full of maps, handouts, tokens, and resources to make your game feel extra special and help you tell your very own wasteland adventure. You gotta check this thing out. Take a look using our custom URL, modifius.net/respectthecrit. There you can see all the things that are in this GM toolkit, and heck, maybe even pick up a copy of the book there if you just can't wait. To enter to win, just like last time, no purchase necessary. We've posted a sweep widget link on our social media, in our Discord, and in the description of this episode. Follow that link to submit your email and follow instructions on how to enter to win. Just like last time, you just have to do 2 things. And let me clarify, you must complete both these entries on that sweep widget link in order to be qualified to win. Firstly, visit that custom URL I mentioned, modifius.net/respectthecrit. There's a lot of cool stuff there, a lot of game toolkits and bundles that'll enhance your own Fallout story. So visit that custom URL and get yourself a copy. And the second thing, I need you to go to Apple Podcasts. Make sure you follow Respect the Crit and leave a 5-star rating and review. Screen cap or take a picture of your review and upload it to the sweep widget giveaway link we provided. Feel free to tweet it at us or post it and tag us on social media, but make sure to send it through our link so we can count it towards your entry. If you win, we'll read it on our episode, just like we did with Mackenzie's. And yes, if you've already left a review, screen cap it and upload it, baby. Like I've been saying, if you haven't won, we're still giving away stuff throughout the entire campaign. So please feel free to enter again each time there's a new giveaway. So, one more time to enter to win. When a new episode of our Fallout campaign comes out every other Wednesday, all you gotta do is go to our sweep widget giveaway link and follow the instructions. Make sure you complete both of these two things. Submit a picture of your 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts, and visit that custom URL, modifius.net/respectthecrit. We're looking forward to hearing what you think about our Fallout story so far, and wishing you all the luck to win these fantastic giveaway prizes. Thank you to our friends at Modifius Entertainment, and thank you for listening, for downloading, and for leaving us your feedback. Now, let's get back to the episode.
So, Lance, you have one bottle cap to bribe people, and you have the registration paperwork for not only the store to sell, but also for this extravaganza happening in a week.
So it's two different things.
Yeah, but they're both like, it's like almost like a small pile of paperwork, yeah.
Cool. It should go well.
As your feet hit that nice dirt road that leads from the section you're in to this main thoroughfare, you begin walking. A group of kids kind of brush past you, almost knocking you down as they do. They're running from an overweight man as he chases them down. It looks like they have some sort of rad roach on a stick as they're running by. As you begin to walk through the uncovered sections of the main thoroughfare, you see a few stalls. They have their stoves turned on, and it's producing these incredible scents and smells of what you can assume is food. Many different kinds of food, all blending together into kind of this overload of scent and sounds, essentially. The road turns to a dry chalky dirt from a kind of nice, kind of compacted dirt eventually, and then leads into this steel plating as you walk by numerous structures built via like vault tech, building materials, some wooden shacks, some sheet metal shacks. As the road becomes this kind of metal plating, metal flooring, you reach a 3-floor building which you recognize as the First Hill Sec HQ. It's got a couple of these little MK1 turrets, which you recognize from the educational handouts you were given while in the vault. But these look like they've seen better days, but there are numerous amounts of them on this building. There's also a small deck on the second floor where you see 3 security guards playing cards, as opposed to watching their positions, which they should be doing. It seems like a pretty easygoing day. And right as your senses kind of get used to the sounds and smells of the outside, you open the First Hill Sec HQ door to this sound, the overwhelming sound of numerous citizens arguing with security personnel of various matters of civic ordinances, wrongful arrests, or just plain pleading for someone, anybody, to hear their case. There is one open line for registration for paperwork.
Lance really just wants to get this over with, but he's kind of, as you said, overwhelmed by like the activity. And ever since he's moved in First Hill, that's kind of like his biggest observation is that like everyone constantly needs something, and like sometimes it's really like dire and important, and like so weird to him that they actually have such important needs that are not being like fulfilled. So he kind of listens around to some of these people, especially the ones who are like shouting like, "Won't anyone listen to me?" He'll head towards the line for the paperwork.
Next!
And he steps forward and just slides the paperwork. It's all crumpled, but he's like tried to pat it down and make a nice like even stack, but like all the corners are like bent and everything.
The woman looks at the paperwork and then looks up at you. Oh boy. Takes it, flips through the pages. I think this looks filled out correctly. Okay, she kind of gives you this like broken smile. She looks around at everyone else, and there's like people, like not screaming, but like, you know, talking loudly. There are officers bringing in what look like half-drunk people stumbling in. She looks to her other side. There's a woman who's dealing with a similar situation, but the stack of papers that she's dealing with is about 15 times as big as the one you handed in.
Busy day, huh?
She looks around. You don't know the half of it. Boom. Stamps a big ol' approved. Puts it in a little filing cabinet and gives you this little ticket. And she says, just have that out for your first week of business, and you should be fine. And the event is covered as well, so you should be good. And then she finally looks up at you and kind of like is stuck, just like staring up.
Like he'll lower, not bend down, but like he'll hover down to pick it up and kind of lean on her booth and just say, "Well, thanks for your help. I hope you have a wonderful day."
Yeah, you too.
Just hang in there. He winks and he'll like tap on the booth and like stand up.
As you turn around and you're exiting the structure, a woman is going to kind of tug on your jumpsuit on the left side, and it's from a lower position, kind of like almost at the forearm area. She's like, "Oh, excuse me."
Yes, can I help you?
You turn to face her, and normally you're expecting like, okay, I'm about to stun somebody else real quick. This woman is unaffected. This elderly woman.
Oh, my weakness. Elderly women.
She
only loves me as a son.
Yeah, you're my son. Her eyes look sunken in and drained as if she'd been crying for days on end. She is slightly elderly, not that old, but there are wrinkles in her face. Her hair is graying in certain parts. It was black in others. She looks to be kind of like an Asian descent. She's wearing this kind of purple sleeveless shirt with a brown belt, brown or like a darker brown slacks or pants. They're pretty common in this area. And her hands are trembling as she's kind of tugging on your arm. You're from a vault? And she points to your outfit.
He kind of nods like, yes, I am.
So then, she looks around. You're one of the good guys then, right?
Well, yeah, that's what I am. That's what I want to be. That's why I'm out here, actually.
And she looks to the one of the security officers kind of patrolling the room, and they see her talking to you. And you can't tell who the officer is. You can just tell that they got a pretty substantially large build. They have their helmet on. It's kind of like I mentioned before, like a SWAT helmet, but where the glass comes down, it's not translucent. It's actually more of like a tinted kind of look, with an extra section that covers the chin as well. That's made out of some sort of iron bar to kind of protect them from physical punches and things like that. The security officer kind of waves down. Oh, whoa, Amelia, you can't harass people in here. She turns around. Can we speak outside, please?
Can I get a vibe check? Can I get a vibe check at the officer and the lady?
You could do a read on the situation itself.
Yeah, I want to do a read on the situation.
Before we roll this, what are you trying to figure out? What's the goal of this check?
I want to know if that's a situation where like Amelia is. My fear is that she's full of shit, or like she's not full of shit, but like
it's a ruse. You think it's some kind of ruse?
No, not a ruse, but like just someone with. I don't have the English words right now. Someone with like.
Tell me it in French, baby.
Will that help?
No, but it'll feel good.
Yeah, I don't want to say mental illness, but like someone with paranoia or something or whatever. Like
yeah, okay.
And then the officer is just like, just don't like.
I'm gonna say we're gonna call it speech. I think we're gonna do the speech charisma one again.
All right.
You have 5 action points.
I'll use 3 for 2 die.
Okay.
Here we go. Nope, not good.
So you don't get your vibe check fails.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
you don't get a great vibe check. What does happen, however, is you feel it's like the mood in the room shifts as this security officer says, "Amelia, I told you not to do that in here." He's gonna whip out a nightstick from his side. It extends. I told you to don't harass people in here, Amelia.
Okay, he's gonna step between them and he's gonna be like, it's fine. He's not harassing me. We're just leaving.
Amelia, the woman, is gonna like, yeah, we're leaving. And the gentleman puts away the nightstick. He looks at you. He looks at you. Are you sure?
I'm about to find out.
You can tell he was kind of disarmed by your charmingly good looks.
Damn it.
And he goes about his business, and Amelia kind of pulls you down. Thank you very much. They've been kicking me out of here every day when I come in here and file a formal request.
What's all this about then?
And she'll kind of lead you outside. She opens the door. She steps not on the railing or the steps leading up to the security HQ, but more on the side. Still in view of people walking by, so you get the general feeling that she's not trying to do anything negative or shady at this point. She's just looking for help. I've been trying to get the chief of security to listen to my pleas. My daughter's been missing for a week, and they tell me they can't spare the resources. They tell me I can't leave to find her. And she kind of looks off in the distance. I don't know what to do at this point. She's my whole world, and I can't do anything.
Why wouldn't they even hear you out? Have you been... Do you have any history with them?
Well, the first night that I realized something was wrong, I came in here, and admittedly, I may have screamed at the chief of security and kicked a few chairs. But I've been coming back, and I've filed the reports numerous times. They just keep telling me they can't spare the resources, that everybody's currently on assignment, that there's nothing they can do, but they're telling me she ran away. She wouldn't run away. Not without telling me. This isn't like her.
Okay, all right. Well, I see. I understand. I see. I know how it feels to have someone disappear, so don't get me wrong, I believe you. I'm just one person, you know. Can you give me a little more information about your daughter?
And she nods. Oh, of course, but she looks around again. Do you have somewhere we could talk? There are some things that I've done to get information that I can't really talk about out in the open.
Yeah, I've got a place. Yeah, just follow me. They won't. I don't think they'll mind.
She nods. Thank you so much. And she kind of grabs your hand, clasping it, and you can feel the way that this woman holds your hand and clasps it reminds you of when you told your parents, "I am joining the rats. I'm leaving." And you get this really quick, vision of you guys eating dinner in the cafeteria, where the table you're sitting at is filled with the overseer and his close cabinet, and yourself, and all the faces that they all made when you said, "I'm rejecting this role," as you slide this very formal paper and folder across the table. And your mother grabbed your hand and begged you not to go. It's very similar to how she's grabbing you. And you guys continue walking. You reach the store. I would assume the lesson of milking a Brahmin is still occurring.
Yeah, it's like squeezing is like,
And that's why they call it the oldest profession.
and he just like wipes his hands.
Now you go ahead and give it a try.
I got Xavier with that one.
Lance gets here at that moment. It's like, Sonny, you've been milking the Brahmin this whole fucking time.
Well, I want it to be done right, and I wanted to show her that it's done right.
You got a problem, man. Anyway, here's your paper. And he kind of just like flicks it.
Oh, thank you.
Grabs it and he's like,
All that for this. Oh, you bringing in customers? We're not ready. We're not ready, Lance. We're not ready.
Amelia looks at Sonny. Oh, I know you.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Sonny Sundries. Can we help you? If there's anything that you need, we probably have it. And we probably have some stuff that you didn't even know you wanted. You know, that's the kind of shop we run. So,
I'm not here to purchase anything.
No, I know. I'm sorry. My room's just in the back here. We're just gonna have to move past this fool, and we'll be in private. We can talk there.
And she nods and she walks past Sonny, and then sees Gerry sitting, I assume, on like some stool, just like looking defeated and wondering, why am I here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and as Lance walks by, he kind of looks down at Gerry and like, how are you holding up?
Gerry just pulls her head back because she actually was leaning into the head of the Brahmin, and she whispered to it, "I'm so sorry," because it's been like 20 minutes that Sunny. And then she looks up at Lance. Takes that second longer than you should, taking it in, and then.
You want some milk? It's kind of chunky this time.
And he's got like a big milk mustache.
Oh my god.
Fresh.
No, I don't want it now. I like mine when it sits for a while. Just leave it there.
So Amelia is in the inside the storage room. She'll see Lance come in and she says, "Oh, that room, it's actually, that's a closet."
Oh, well, look at that. It is.
I'm sorry. Do you live in there?
Temporarily.
Are they your friends?
He's my employer. Just ignore him for now. I was actually thinking I could talk to Officer Longley.
She emphatically shakes her head. No. None of them can help. Look, I've gone to them many times. That was at first. And then afterwards, now that she realizes she's in a safe place, I did my own digging. And she reaches into her side satchel and pulls out this fat, like, notebook with different colored papers stuffed inside of it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and she opens it up, and there's different sheets, there's smaller notebooks inside. And she says, something is happening outside of the city, which is causing the officers to be spread pretty thin. They're pushing more of them to become scouts and sending them to the west. Don't know what that's about, don't care. There's nobody working the missing persons unit. There's nobody working the normal beats. And when I ask about this, and when I ask for help, they just turn me away. They tell me that Olivia ran away. I think somebody took her. Something's happened to her. And she goes, and then this, and then she flips a couple more pages. There's an engineer. He also left about a week ago. He just quit his job. I think it was this guy.
You think the guy took her?
Has to be. There's no other reason.
Can I take a look at your little notebook? Your big little notebook.
She's very hesitant at first. And then she flips it around on the table and pushes it towards you.
If you allow me, I can read through it, just see if anything clicks for me. Maybe there's information in there I can corroborate.
She nods. Yeah, that could be fine. I think the conversation is loud enough that Gerry, you hear this because you're sitting against the
closet, wall. So it's just like at like a normal volume, just very reverby.
So Gerry, you hear this. You hear this woman basically kind of going over her semi-successful detective work and Lance saying a bunch of fancy smanchy words, which only makes them that much hotter in your eyes.
In your ears, technically.
I guess they're close enough and they're not trying to hide the conversation. Sunny's doing something to this Brahmin still, probably.
He's eavesdropping. He's 100% eavesdropping.
It's easy enough for both of you to hear all of this. It's very easy.
So Gerry, leaning against the wall, says to her, there was a security officer here earlier saying something about how all of them were being stationed at the west gate.
And she suddenly snaps and sees you standing kind of in the doorway. Oh, yeah. And then she pulls the notebook away from Lance and flips again. Yeah, they've been hiring more people or stationing them as scouts. So there's actually less security officers in the city than there are on the wall and outside.
Have you seen anything outside the city as you came in?
No, I came in through the east gate and seemed pretty normal to me.
What's down there, down south? Do we know, like, what settlements or communities or anything?
You would know, my friend. Well, south isn't where the gate. The western gate is where the guys are being stationed.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah. So yeah, what's west?
Out west of First Hill is downtown Seattle.
Oh, that's not great.
And yeah, downtown, as you remember, it's a shit show.
Yeah, that's like mutant territory, right?
downtown, Evergreen downtown, not only do you have mutants down there, but there is also the Wailing Wall, which, a little history lesson for our listeners here. In Seattle, there is a gum wall. In our world, in the real world. In the Fallout world, that gum wall was created by another kind of radioactive gum company. And similar to the way ours was built, they were giving out free samples after a movie back in a certain age. And when that radioactive gum wall stayed there, people tended to avoid it in this timeline, as it was giving off some high level of radiation. After the Great War, there are reports that this gum wall gained not only sentience, but also the ability to grow, to consume. It became this kind of living, breathing, writhing organism, which is a monster used in children's bedtime stories in the Evergreen. However, there are about a nice select few people, mostly travelers, scavengers, and merchants, who have actually seen it or know that it actually does exist, and it is in fact a sentient creature. Sonny's never seen it up close, but he has passed through the area where it is known to be in the pre-skirmish days before the Brotherhood and that new power fought in the Evergreen.
So he kind of chimes in, wipes milk off of his mouth.
That's west of First Hill. That's no good. That's super mutant territory, and they got the whole Wailing Wall down there.
She quickly snaps to Sonny. Both of you could hear us talking?
Oh yeah, you're just in a closet. I mean, the sound reverberates everywhere, And normally I say, Lance, no guests, please. But it's.
Wait, can you hear everything?
Oh yeah, all of it. The whole tamale. You know what I'm saying?
Cool. I want to raise.
For what? Because you can hear, for people can hear you.
Yeah, for the extra you're getting.
Hey, it's not. It just happens to float by me. I don't give people money just because I can smell the bread that they're cooking. You know what I mean? Anyway. First of all, who's this guy? Who's this guy that took your daughter?
Mark, I think it says. She goes through a bunch of different papers.
Mark.
I look at Lance and I'm like,
Mark. You ever heard of Mark, engineer?
There's a lot of marks. I've known a lot of marks in my time. So, did they know each other beforehand?
I know that this guy went missing, or he quit around the same time my daughter went missing. And I tried to follow up about it, and I tried to leave as a hunch, and I was stopped. They told me no one's allowed to leave the city. And that kind of piques your guys' interest, because First Hill is supposed to be this hub of trade and people coming into the Evergreen or leaving through the southern parts or the eastern parts of the Evergreen. It's a large city for a reason. People come here from outside. And so by her telling you it's been closed off, that's like news. That's news to you guys.
I think we have a couple questions to ask Officer damn it, Langley? Longley. I think we owe him another Nuka-Cola.
How old was your daughter? Or is?
Yeah. When you say was, she kind of looks at you.
Yeah.
Olivia. She's 20. She's very smart. And you can see her start to kind of tear up. There's no way she would leave without telling me. And then she kind of closes her notebook of clues and kind of squeezes it tight. She wouldn't just leave me by myself. That wouldn't happen.
I'm sorry. What was your name?
I'm Amelia.
I'm sorry, Amelia. It's tough out there, outside of the city. I think it's best just to move on and, if there's anything in the store that can help you sort of get through your grief, I will give you a very good discount.
She looks at Sonny, gives you daggers, and puts her folder down. I know how this works. She goes back into her satchel, and pulls out a pretty nice sized bag of bottle caps and pours them onto the table. Mismatch, Sunset Sarsaparilla, Nuka-Cola Quantum, beers of all kinds. Like, she's been collecting these for a long time, and from different parts of the wasteland. This is like, Sonny, you recognize some of these drinks? Bottle caps passed around in Puyallup. Gerry, as a child, your nomadic tribe you weren't in the Evergreen or Seattle or I'm sorry, the state of Washington or the Northwestern Commonwealth. You were traveling a lot, and you vaguely remember some of these bottle caps being from like up north. This woman this is essentially her life savings, and she's dumping it all over this table.
Gerry will step forward. I mean, technically, I'm not even being paid for this gig. And she points with her thumb to Sunny.
It's for experience.
I guess I could try and help.
Lance like puts his hand, this whole forearm on the table between Sunny and the bottle caps, and he sort of like brushes them towards Amelia, like pushes them back towards her, and he says, "We get those when the job is done."
And what is the job exactly? What are we doing?
Amelia looks at Lance with a smile, looks back towards Sunny and Gerry. I just need you to find her. Even if she's... And she stops, and then you can see her kind of clutch again. Like, this time she doesn't have her notebook, she just kind of clutches her chest. Even if she's gone, I need to make sure she's okay. She looks up at Sunny and says, "She's all I have left. I know people haven't exactly treated you right. I'm guilty of that. I remember when you first came here, a long time ago. And she kind of whispers and looks outside the door. When the Brotherhood was here, I helped destroy what was here before. Not only you, but the others that look like you. So I understand if you don't want to help me." And it kind of clicks, Sunny. Like, you didn't recognize her, but you assumed she was part of that mob that first ran you out of town and kind of backed the Brotherhood, essentially.
Yeah, when she says Brotherhood, he just kind of like tenses up. But he kind of like looks at Lance to gauge his reaction to this a little bit.
Yeah, I think Lance is kind of gauging you because he didn't know about that.
Sonny just kind of like walks over to Amelia and he says,
"Okay, listen. We've all done things that we're not proud of, right?
I haven't.
Lance, please. Adults are talking. But now we are a part of a community, right? And we're working to make this place a better place for everyone in it. And maybe that makes us a little bit more tolerant. So, because you're a member of this community and I don't want anything bad to happen to any member of it, we'll help you out, okay?"
She loses it and hugs you.
Okay.
And just starts bawling. "Thank you so much. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry."
"We are gonna need a little bit of upfront bottle caps just to fun."
and he just starts like grabbing just a small amount and like pulling them over
for supplies and stuff.
Lance gives a look to Gerry, and he kind of like nods at her because she said she'd do it, and he'll put his hand on Sunny's shoulder and walks towards Amelia and says, "You asked me if I was one of the good ones because I was a vault dweller. Well, I left the vault to do good, but I decided to stay out here in First Hill to make a difference. We'll do whatever we can."
She nods. "Thank you." She goes in her satchel one more time and hands you, Lance, a bottle of purified water.
Douses himself in it. Oh god.
It's like it's not a bottle. It's more of like it's like government issued can. It has not been opened. It's got like dust on the outside. It says like best before 2,300 something.
He looks at it in disbelief and he tells her, I will cherish this.
She nods and looks at Gerry. You seem like you know how to survive outside.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm good at.
And she nods, and then she reaches into the satchel again and pulls out a map. Looks like it was originally like, one of those road atlas maps, but it's cut off. So all it has is First Hill, it has Capitol Hill, East Lake, Madrona. And what this map is essentially is a region map, which will make your traveling through these areas much easier, as she is expecting you to have to hoof it in some parts. So she hands you the map, looks to Sunny. If you have to leave, I can watch this for you. And she points to the whole thing. I wasn't always just a helpless mother. I've run businesses before. I kept my daughter and I afloat for a long time until she started to be the one working, so I can... And she looks around as like the storeroom is empty, and then the front of the store, the outside store, there's a Brahmin now kind of going a little wild out there, just kind of bumping into the shelf. I can take care of things for you if you have to leave and follow the trail or something like that.
Okay, Amelia, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. That's part of us becoming better people, You know what I mean?
She'll nod.
Now I need you to get people hyped up about this store. We're opening in a week, so if you could just sort of like, actually I've got this, and he like goes over and like grabs like a cardboard sign that's like an arrow. It's like Sunny's Sundries, and he's like, keep the shop clean and safe and everything, but if you could just be outside and just be like spinning this a little bit, just sort of like getting people to come this way, check it out.
She grabs it. Oh yeah, like a town crier. I've actually did that when I was much younger.
I knew it. I knew you were perfect for it. I saw it as soon as you came in.
Lance is like, how did you end up hiring her after all this?
Well, we're starting an internship program. We've got Gerry here, just sort of a intern prime, and now Amelia here. She's walking a path to redemption. So that's we're building a base here.
I can do it. It's not a problem. It's the least I can do for you. You're gonna help me find my little girl.
Yeah, we're gonna start by talking to people in town. I think we don't want to have to go outside if we don't have to, but that's where we're gonna start, okay?
She nods, wipes away some snot. Yeah, that sounds fine. I'd start at what's that place they drink? Victor's in the center of city.
Victor's, I know it well. That's like a bar or something, right?
Victor's is all of you except for Gerry would know Victor's is a bar in the center of the city. Everyone's UI, boom. Main quest accepted. The missing.
Yeah, my Pip-Boy gets updated.
yeah, your Pip-Boy, yeah. As long as Amelia's in your shop, Sunny, everything will run smoothly. There will be no negative effects with her being there. Gerry, on the other hand, you don't have a place to stay. You haven't worked that out yet. Amelia's home is also open for you as well, Gerry.
Oh, if she offers.
Yeah, I would say that she offers that is something that she kind of, just to get out of the way, she offers you a place to stay because she understands that you came into the city literally hours ago. Amelia is going to put the sign up against one of the empty shelves. And I'd say Sunny catches this. He sees her do this. The empty Nuka-Cola bottle that was there from where Abad left it, she kind of sees it. Oh, grabs it and throws it in like a small receptacle and begins cleaning of her own accord.
Oh. Yeah, he's just like smiling, like rubbing his disgusting goatee.
Lance leans over to Gerry and is like, this is how he does it. He hired me, and then I ended up giving him all my bottle caps. A woman comes to us, asks us to find her missing daughter, and he ends up hiring her and not pay her a dime. I don't know how he does it.
I spent nearly a half hour watching him manhandle that poor Brahmin.
That'll stay with you forever. I'm sorry. I tried to help you. I couldn't. He did it to me too.
It's the charisma check that he's doing without us knowing. Success. Okay, I guess I'll give you my money.
I didn't think of it, but yeah, she walked in like, please help me, and we now have a new hire.
Yeah.
I guess some things never change.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Respect the Crit's Wasteland Adventure, Fallout Evergreen. If you like what you heard, please consider supporting us by giving us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts, or whatever platform you use to listen. It's easy, free, helps other people learn about the show, and we love to read your feedback. For more information about the show, visit @RespectTheCrit on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or come chat with us in our official Discord server. Gerry is played by Susan Spenader, who you can find on Instagram @SuzLalouz. Lance Burnett is played by Xavier Trudeau-Deschênes, who can be found on Twitter @XavierTD. Sunny Takase is played by me, your host, Ian Duncan, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram @idunks. Our guest GM for this game is Alex Herrera, who you can find on Twitter @AEHerrera or on his Twitch channel, WadeWolf10. The original music in this episode is provided with license or permission by a variety of talented artists, whose info and credits can be found in the episode notes. Please support them by visiting their platforms to hear more of their work, and tell them how much you like their music in our show. Our outro song is Some Things Never Change by Gavin Dunn. You can hear more of his work on Bandcamp and YouTube at Miracle of Sound. The Fallout 2D20 RPG system is licensed by Bethesda and published by Modiphius Entertainment. Special thanks to our friends at Modiphius for donating prizes to our giveaways for this campaign. You can learn more and grab your own copy of the official Fallout RPG by visiting modiphius.net/respectthecrit. Special thanks to the team at Fallout Cascadia for use of their music. You can learn more about this incredible, ambitious Fallout 4 mod at falloutcascadia.com. And remember, whatever the system, whether it's a miss or a hit, you always gotta respect the crit. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the Wasteland. Were you able to high-five yourself?
Yeah. Last time my hands went all wonky. It was weird.
Like flop.
It was like a Fallout game where the physics just went blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
Yeah, I'm constantly gonna make my character have some weird glitches, just so you're warned. Clip in a wall.
There's bugs in the game. Right? A bot begins walking into the door.
Gerry falls through the ground.
I bump into a car and die.